this. All right, and for purposes of sharing the information at a later stage as well. Okay, so I'm going to share with you some, let me find where's my slide. Okay, so here we are. All right, some just introduction a bit here. Today we are sharing these some graduates life information. So we were starting off with the opening from Office of Student Affairs, and then followed by a conversation with NUS Graduate Studies Society. And then after that, we will be looking at some of the resources that you can look forward to as part of your graduate journey here in NUS, mainly the libraries, all right? Then of course we have some guests who's going to, not rather guests, she's also a student just like you, a graduate students, all right, who's going to give us some tips on student wellness, coping as graduates. And some of you have been asking question, what about some spicing up of student life in NUS, right? Then I have some representative from the student life fair that's upcoming in August for you to join in. Last but not least, two things very important before you leave this chat. One is the COVID-19. All right, and then the other one is the accommodation issues, which will be done on a separate platform later. Okay, so please be mindful of these things. Then, of course, at the end of the day, if you have any question, feel free to do so in the Q&A chat. All right, there is a button under the Q&A. Write down or type out whatever questions you would like to have, and then we will answer you as accordingly. If we are not able to answer you, please bear with us. We will still type out the answers, and then we will connect with you after that. All right. Okay, so we are going to start with welcome to Office of Student Affairs. Welcome to National University of Singapore once again. I'm myself is Haizu from the Office of Student Affairs. Along with me, I have a few panelists. So the first one that I'm going to share and introduce with is actually Gautam. All right, so Gautam he holds the Assistant General Secretary position of the 34th Executive Committee of Graduate Student Society. All right, he's presently a Master's Public Policy and a senior student from Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy. Wow, that's a very heavy course there. And he likes hosting people, so he likes to serve, cook food, Indian food, and he's very passionate about culinary arts. And so I think if you really have some time to chat with him, find out from him, and maybe maybe over food. All right. In his free times, he researches about scientific spiritual science. He's a learned martial arts as well, and as a global citizen, he loves jack of all trades. Now, of course, at the end of the sharing session that you have with him, if you like to have your voices heard, please by all means write to Gautam. All right, he will share with you his email address in the chat itself. All right, so Gautam, maybe we can do a simple opening, right? So how's the GSS adapting their social events for incoming graduates so far?
Hello.
Hello.
So yeah, so should I need to share my slide right away, or?
Yes, you can, Gautam. You can do so.
Okay, so I'll share and then I'll start sharing my thoughts. Just a second.
Okay, so all right.
Yeah.
Okay, take it away, Gautam.
Yeah, hello everyone. So welcome to National University of Singapore, and here you're with us, Graduate Student Society, and your yeah. So who's speaking with you today? So it's me, Gautam. So as he has already spoken about me, so just a quick heads up. So I'm Assistant General Secretary of 34th Executive Committee of Graduate Student Society. You can call me GD. So now we are moving into the academic year 2020-21, so which is 35th GSS Executive Committee. So who we are? So Graduate Student Society is actually one and only student group serving the postgraduate NUS community for over 35 years. It was registered back in 1980s, and here we are. And so actually the society, in a nutshell, so we actually serve the graduate students, including masters as well as PhD students, for their vibrant student life during their stay with us in National University of Singapore. So this is our organizational structure. So we have an executive committee which has leading core, which has president and vice president, and below which there are secretariat cell, treasury cell, student development cell, and community affairs cell. So, and also we have organizing committee, and this is our organizational structure. And for the 35th executive committee, so we'll be having several positions opening, and so stay tuned for that. We'll be reaching out to you soon for several posts, right from general secretary to social secretary. All right. So I'll quickly run through you with our flagship events which we conducted in the past, and also as Haizwe asked me in the first during my starting of presentation, how we are going to cope up with the COVID situation, how the events will be likely to happen. So I'll run through that as well. So these are all the events. So usually for the graduate students, and again I'll tell, so this is society only for graduate students, masters and PhD. And so when they come and join NUS, so the first event and flagship event we'll be organizing every year is welcome formal dinner. But since this year, since this is COVID times, we are waiting for the circular update from National University of Singapore. So I don't think this event will be happening anytime soon. And then we'll be having postgraduate career fair and trivia nights and welfare pack giveaways and 3-minute thesis. So this 3MT, I would like to emphasize, this particular event is only for the researchers, I mean the PhD students, not for the master student. And next, so we have other orientation events I mean, as I already mentioned, the formal dinner, and also we have freshman pizza party. So last year we conducted, and again this year, maybe we can have a virtual Zoom pizza party. That's all can happen for now. And of course, other events, other interesting events are career and personal development events. We have, as I mentioned again earlier, again, postgraduate career fair, and we have coffee chat series. Then meetups and art therapy are the new events which we brought in during 34th executive committee, I mean last year. And these two events we have gently moved to online, I mean the virtual session, because of the COVID situation. So these two events are happening for the past 6 months, and it's been like one of our flagship event after COVID situation. And other leisure and social events are badminton tournament, cardio kickboxing event, and of course there might be question like how we can do cardio kickboxing over Zoom. Of course we cannot. So that's actually an interesting event, but we are still figuring it out. So how we can bring in such activities in future. And these are other events which actually we conducted for the past 2-3 months. One is pilots workout, and DJ night happened before the COVID. So yeah, and Halloween party, then welfare pack giveaways. Welfare pack giveaways is actually another big event where almost thousands and thousands of graduate students will be coming and will be interacting, and new membership. So it's a very vibrant event. And I think we are even discussing that, like how that will be happening in the coming months. And then, okay, so today's takeaways from my presentation. So like how we are going to adapt during the COVID situation. So how we are going to make this social events happen. So what we did in the past 3 months, so we have been working even during the vacation. So actually I didn't fly back to my home country as well. So what we were doing, we conducted a survey, and we sent out a mass email to all the graduate students, and we got a very good response. And so based on that, we have successfully moved all our social events to virtual social events. And as there is a famous saying, you all know, be a Roman while in Rome, right? So Jesus has adapted the situation well in advance. And I'll be quickly running through what are all the events which we have adapted virtually. So
I like your advice there. When you are in Rome, be like in Rome. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, exactly, because this situation is unprecedented and nobody expected, right? And most of them, a lot of goals and ambitions, they are coming out to Singapore for their masters, and we have to really cope up, and we have to really come up with flying colors, right?
Yes.
So
So I
and
see that you have done a lot of events, and I've seen very rich event out there, and some of you are moving it online, and then you also have featured some
yeah,
of
so
the new
that's what
events.
I'm going to explain now. So, towards pragmatism, so we have to be very realistic, and we cannot promise that we'll be doing this, that in the upcoming semester, considering the situation. So, what are the events which we have moved online? So, one is pilots workout, yoga sessions. So, these are all, so all these belongs to like the community department. So, if you are like coming into GSS and if you are holding a position, so you'll be the one who will be organizing, creating such events and conducting. And next, postgraduate career fair. So this actually we collaborate with NUS career team, and we'll be conducting this. And meetup, it has actually dignitaries from industries who will be virtually connecting with us, and they'll be discussing. It's actually like a mini career event, and also like how we can cope up, what skills you can build up to get in to industries of your interest. And then Zoom coffee series and art therapy. I'll show you a
Oh,
picture.
I guess one of the main highlight that any graduate student shouldn't miss from your events will be the career related events, right, Gautam?
Yeah, exactly. Because we all come here for a great career, right?
Mm.
And so that is one of the big event. And we, along with NUS career team, we facilitate, and that way, especially for the graduate students. So there are a number of career events happening for undergrads, but this particular postgraduate career fair is actually one to look out for. And now regarding this art therapy, so if you see the picture on the right side, so this happened last week. So like Zoom, so we have successfully moved this, and it was actually so satisfying.
Mm.
And yeah,
That's
so
good.
this art therapy.
And all these will be made available on your website, on your NUS Sync, as well as your social media platform.
So yeah, it's available everywhere. So we'll be fixing the date and time, and people can register. Yeah,
Okay.
future graduate friends can register in that. And some of the new exciting events which all of the graduate students have to look out for is culinary workshop. So actually I've discussed and I've talked with a lot of people, and this particular culinary workshop, especially even before COVID times, it has not happened.
Mm.
So this is one thing which is actually difficult, but we are just trying to curate and bring out content for the students accordingly. So this is one event which you have to look out for, which is actually in process and progress. This culinary workshop and nutrition workshop,
Mm.
because of course people are sitting inside the room, and I've seen like a lot of my friends have eaten a lot and put on weight. So this nutrition is actually very, very important. And this is actually very mindful of our team to think and have to come up for the upcoming graduates. And mental health and well-being, this is one of the most important thing, which which
Yes.
is actually, yeah, important for the postgraduate students during their stay here,
Mm.
especially for PhD and for masters. And self-help fitness workshop, so pilots we have conducted. So likewise, how we can move other workouts, like in the past we had kickboxing, so how we are going to do that online. So that is one upcoming. And trivia nights, so we'll be having some like school level activities. So we have to bring our child within us, so that we'll be like energetic and move ahead, right? So such sort
Mm.
of events will be there during trivia nights. And yeah.
All right.
and
Thanks. There's
and
some
this
more.
is our
Yeah.
upcoming event,
Mm.
which
Okay.
will be organized during 30th July. We'll be sending out a mail, you can participate. So this will be a great kickstart for you all for the upcoming semester. And what's the one event that graduates should never miss out? So to answer your question, this is postgraduate career fair. And one new event which you should look out for is culinary workshop. And pearls of wisdom in 3 points. So actually this is really main takeaway which I wanted to share you personally as well as a part of society. So these three things you have to keep it in mind. So one is learn from your fellow classmates and students you meet. So that is very, very important. Even the smallest thing you can learn. So that actually gave me a lot during my past 1 year of study here. And second, be humble and non-judgmental, because we are studying with more than 70 our fellow classmates from 70 different countries. So we have to be humble and non-judgmental. So that is a character to be honed as well. And keep your options open and make a great impact during your stay here. And
Yes,
yeah,
thank you
so we
so
are
much.
your voice.
All right, Gautam,
Yeah.
and dialogues, right? And okay,
Yes,
so
and we are here for you. You can, so this is my mail ID. You can reach out to me, assistantgensec@nusgss.com.
mm,
And yes, membership is absolutely free because we are the only society. And please do register. We are looking forward to serve you.
mm,
And yeah, last but not least, I just read it out. So it must be a very proud moment for each one of you to be here. All the hard work you have put in has paid off. Your reward lies ahead. Have a successful days ahead, and it's your time to shine. And once again, on behalf of GSS, I congratulate all the folks and best wishes for graduate studies and great time ahead in and with us. Thank you so much for having your time with us.
all right. Thank you, Gautam. Wonderful presentation. Wonderfully put it up together. I like your three pearls of wisdom. That's something that to be remembered. I hope that every one of you are connected with what Gautam has mentioned. Now, Gautam, can you do me a favor? Some of your information, right? Maybe you can type up under the chat
Sure.
function, like your details, like for instance, the reach out email to you. And
Sure.
then what's the next steps that you can hope that they will be able to follow up with you. So the
Sure.
rest of you who are just want to join in and you want to know and find out, I think some questions when you sign up for this RSVP event, some of the questions that you have concern are things such as work, career, how do I bring it up, how do I make it better, right? So well, don't miss out the career fair. And some of you are asking about student life. Well, that's a start. GSS do touch on certain aspect of the student life, but you will hear a little bit more later by Joey. All right, so here I'm going to bring in some quick check-in. All right, I'm going to launch a poll in front of you. So that this poll is just generally just to check in with you. How's your day? All right, you can participate and then click on it so we can see how's everyone today at the start of the journey in here in NUS. All right, so you should see it in front of your screen. All right, you can start doing your poll if you like. Wow, there's someone saying, I'm ready. Okay, and a lot of you are choosing, I could really use a massage. Okay, unfortunately. But then I recall, Tanvi, right? We do have some massage services by the Handicap Society.
The Society for the Visually
Yes.
Disabled, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. So do you
But
manage
even
to
at pit stop, actually, we have massage chairs. So yeah.
Okay, if you are back in the base, and of course with the COVID restriction out,
Yeah.
if it's safe to travel across different zones, please by all means do look for the massage chair. From time to time, they may have the visually impaired coming down to do some massage as part of the routine to get for us to know one another. All right. So some of the questions that we asked as well, what are the weird food would you like to try or have even eaten in Singapore for those of you who have here? Well, it seems like quite a very well balanced. Some of you have tried the lamb's brain soup.
I
Some of
haven't
you have
tried anything.
Sorry?
I haven't tried anything.
You haven't tried
What's a
anything?
Me neither.
fried
Where are you,
fallopian
Gautam?
tube?
So I've just tried mala hot pot, which is one I like the most.
Well, it's still
Yeah.
something new to try, right? Mala hot pot is different spices found in India, different thing, right? Now, so of course, some of you have chosen fried fallopian tube, which is actually intestines of an animal, and some of you like to prefer to have the phoenix claw, the chicken feet. I remember when I grew up, I don't know whether Jamila is the same with you. If we eat a lot of chicken feet, we were told that we can run very fast on the track, right?
I was a runner.
Oh, you was a runner. Do you eat a lot of chicken feet?
Hi.
Okay, so I will stop this polling for a moment. All right, and we will come in and so the second one, polling ground sensing on the ground. So can I just quick check how many of you are staying on campus, or do one of you intend or plan to attend any activities featured in your emailer by NUS program? You know, we have been emailing you for the past at least 3 times, 4. All right. And then whether referring to the previous question, which are the events that you managed to attend, right? I hope that was the information was very useful. Okay, a lot of you have not been able to come on board the campus. Well, it could be due to the COVID situation, country to country. There's still no agreement yet to be able to fly you in, as well as you have to wait for MOE clearance, right? Ministry of Education clearance from Singapore to allow you to come in. But don't worry, a lot of things are been trying to put it up online so that we can mitigate all those things. All right. I'm glad to know that some of you have joined some events such from ICARE and GSS. I think GSS has some early events. All right, you have signed up some, and as well as thank you so much. All right, So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the next lovely lady here.
Can we have a minute so that I can just show the, the code so that people can scan whoever wanted to right now?
If you have the email address, you can actually tap inside the chat for you. Gautam?
Yeah, I've just shared it. So because we have just quickly run through the slide, I thought they would have missed the QR code. So that's why.
Okay.
I'll just quickly share, maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah. So while you are seeing the QR code that's being flashed by Gautam, the next lady I'm going to introduce is something to do with falling in love with our libraries. Now, maybe it's a little bit oxymoron at this point in time because libraries are still out of bounds for a lot of people still in Singapore because of the different phases. We can't open up everything due to the COVID situation here. But here you will hear, why not hear from this beautiful lady, Jamila? All right, she's from the Central Library. She said that she loves to talk to students, and a lot of times she especially enjoyed it when students need help in assignment and research. All right, so maybe we can find out from her what are the new development in the libraries once the COVID situation gets better, and you can come down to the many libraries that we have in NUS. All right, there are some libraries which are very IG worthy spots for you to take photos and show to your families back home. All right. So, right, Gautam, are we okay with?
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, so here we are, Jamila.
Hi, thank you so much. You can't be here, so we bring this to you. So at the back of me, right, my virtual background is actually what we call the Lover's Lane. It's somewhere that you can sit in front of Central Library. It's a nice place to walk. So when you do have time, go there because beside it there's Max Coffee. And start of term, they normally give us quite good rates, right, Haizu?
Yes.
So check it out when we can all go back. But for them, in the meantime, since we can't have you at the library, we are going to bring the service to you. Okay, it's important for grad students, and like what Haizu said, I talk to students a lot because I feel that it's important that we talk a lot so we know what your issues are and we can sort of share and mitigate the issues. I'm going to share my screen so that, like what Haizu said, right? We have quite a number of libraries.
Yes. How many libraries is that a competition question?
No. Initially, we wanted to make it a competition question. Then we realized that students actually got confused because there are some libraries that you can actually enter. Some libraries can enter only if you request. But important for you guys to know, with your student card, right, your NUS student card, you can go to all of these places, including Yale. But you see, Yale has no linky because Yale is kind of like our cousin. Not really under NUS libraries, but you guys can borrow the books from Yale. If you have the time to read into something what I'm going to share, you will know how to borrow books from across libraries. Because we can't have so much time, I'm actually timing myself because Haizu is like, okay, you guys, you would have this long to talk, you know. I'm going to share this QR code, and I want you guys to take the QR code or the URL, because this is going to bring you to this page we call Library Guide. We made especially for students. Still need, and they know these things, but it's okay. We shall not waste time. But basically what this...
All right, so Jamila is having little difficulty with the Wi-Fi connection.
To our...
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Can Jamila?
Are you guys... I'm actually... Okay?
Yes, okay. We lost you for a while because of the internet.
Okay, by the way, students, this is going to happen a lot when you're doing your e-class, depending on which time of the day. Okay, so the QR code is going to bring you to this page. It is essential, okay, that you guys at least take a look at the practical and assignment page that we have created, simply because as grad students, a lot of it is going to be onto you to start your research from get-go, right? They're just going to give you the topic and you're supposed to know how to do it. So that QR code that I shared with you will link you to this page. So take a picture that you can do later. Okay. Two things that I want to stress upon is the practical stuff that you have to know and getting ready for your assignment. That assignment page, you can check from that library guide I showed you. What do I mean by the practical stuff? Students always get this confused. I have my NUSnet ID and password, I have my student card, and there's this thing called library pin. So your NUSnet ID and password is important because this is your main gateway to access your e-resources. And I tell you, grad students, it is important. Gautam, agree, not agree? You need to access your e-resources almost all the time. And because when we do our assignment, we don't do it during waking hours. So it's good that you guys know how to access. So if you have problems, you can talk to me during waking hours and then get back to your research during your normal research work, okay? Your student card and your PIN is for you to borrow your books. When the library is open, I don't mind, you guys can get in touch with me and I can do a tour for you so you know exactly what to do with your student card. Okay, this is your student card. And if you have no idea what's a library PIN, it's okay. Just go to the link.
I'm sure there are there's a lot of friendly librarians there to help, right, Jam?
Yeah, a lot. And just for your info, because of this COVID, we have to make spaces ready for you to retrieve because you can't go into the library without appointment, but you can submit a form and then we will put the books in the book station where you can retrieve them. We hope that NUS administration will lax this a bit after term started, but in the meantime, this is our way of telling you, you can still get your books. I know a lot of you are going to say, how am I going to get my RBR books? Contact the library. Okay, I'm going to have my email address later because NUS is pretty huge, so you might get confused and overwhelmed. So it's good to know your contact points. Okay. And then Heidi was saying, Jem, anything to share with students? I wish the library is open, Central Library specifically, because we have this Tell Imaginarium room where we encourage AR, VR, and then yes, indeed, we have the green room for you to test your application. We have this place. My big boss say, Jem, don't say it's a game station. It is a game station, people. So once,
I haven't
oh my
tried this.
God, I'm gone. This is recorded, right? Oh my God. But it is a game station. When the library is open, we actually open every 12 to 1 p.m. for students to just try out. And the reason why we ask you to try out is to encourage you to think about totally out of the box kind of research aspect, how to do your project. You'll be amazed what the telly, we call it telly for short, what the room has, AR sets, VR sets, swivel, all these things that you see here. The best way to know is to really experience it. Okay.
May I ask, like, when it is opening again?
Okay, we have to wait for NUS administration. All of us are following, like what you said, it's really the big guns of the government, and then MOE, which is our ministry, right? And then NUS will take cue from there. But as what you guys may have realized, we have shared with NUS community access points, different level of access points.
Yep.
Okay, one thing, I shared with you the earlier QR code, right? The other thing you need to do, main takeaway from today, is to know how to start your research. And students ask me, especially for those who are new at NUS, we have a lot of databases, but I'm not gonna overwhelm you. You just need to know two first, the Find More and Google Scholar, just as a start, okay? We could actually share with you how to set up your device so that you can access full text. Because as much as I want to say to people, to students, whether you're new, whether you're current, I really want to test my current students on panelists right now, because you need to know how to search. As much as I say, go through library portal, most students, we would just Google, right? Use browser. So can you imagine, I'm gonna show a demo, okay? In Google Scholar, this is what you see when you check Google Scholar, right? Can you imagine having the ability for the Google Scholar to just tell you, hey, you're a student of NUS, you should have access, but you need to set it up. And only after you set it up, you will
Then you
see
can.
this, right? Because this is important. It's important for students. And as a researcher, and this is where I normally bore students, okay, my love for research is like, as a researcher, you need to look at everywhere, especially at grad level. You need to be able to expound on your evidence while you're pursuing this particular topic. And you cannot give like our undergrads like 5, 10 references, no such thing, right? It's like 25 above. So how do you find that?
Tanvi and Gautam, I'm sure you have experienced that.
I know,
Yeah, many times. So initially I didn't register. Even I don't remember when I registered, but after I registering, yes. I mean, this is one great piece actually.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Jem.
So the thing is, I would love it, inclusive of my panelists. I invite you, because there's more, right? It's not just setting up that find it. You can set up proxy bookmarklet, but because of the time constraint, I'm just going to show you 3 more. Okay, this is utterly essential. My panelists would know that for this, the term that is just over, some students were caught. Plagiarism is very, very strictly enforced. Plagiarism check is strictly enforced at NUS. I have sat in plagiarism proceeding where I have to fail students. It's not a nice job. So what you can do is do yourself a favor, check what you should do to avoid plagiarism, right? One of the things, of course, to cite. So because there's still so much I want to share and it's important, could I encourage you to join us in this session? It's very, we're going to have e-sessions for our students to learn about the resources in detail.
Hi, Jem. Can you put it in the full screen mode? There is one participant couldn't see the PPT clearly.
Okay, I'm going to close off our, can you guys see this? Okay, I am going to just also copy this, right? I am going to share my email because I think that would be the best way to communicate. There's a lot of you out there, and I would want to encourage you. Okay, we have quite a number of students already joining on 29th, which is Wednesday. So if I could encourage you to go for the rest on either the 4th, 6th, or 13th, all right? And for this, I also, let me see. Yes, I will provide Haizu with the slides so he can share with you guys later.
Yeah.
All right. So it is important. Okay. And if all else fail, okay, the first one you see is mine. And that's really my email address. Okay, it's jem@nus. That's if you wish to write to me, or if you just write to the library. This is our email address. But sincerely, I do encourage you to write and ask us, because I do agree it's going to be quite a lot of confusion when term starts, because your teachers are just going to give you readings and topics and coming up with topics, and then by week 3 you have to come up with the assignment topic, etc. All this confusion, we hope to mitigate this confusion by ensuring that you know, let me just go through this one. Mitigate this confusion by ensuring that you have other ways of communicating with us. So that is it for now. And for the moment, I'm just gonna stop share.
You can just copy that into the chat room. That's right. Okay, that's great. Thanks, Jamila.
Right.
All right. So while Jamila is copying into the chat, so Jamila, if you are a book, what would the book says?
The book says, there's too much of me. There is too much of me. You come and connect with the library. the
I see.
librarians, the friendly librarians, and we will show you what you need, because all of you, every research topic needs a different treatment. Whether it's more stats-based, whether it's text-based, whether it's qualitative, it's different, right? You guys, when you're doing assignment, that you know. So if I'm a book, I say, oh my God, what do I tell this? What do I tell to Joey? Joey is requiring of her research, but Tanvi also needs me, but she's looking at a different perspective. So ask yourself that question, research students, when you're doing your assignment, right? So there you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamila. All right. So you all remember that, right? So she said if she's a book, just talk to her. There's not enough of her. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you another lovely lady. All right. Her name is Tanvi. Tanvi. What am I talking about? So Tanvi is a full-time MBA student at the NUS Business School, and she moved first to Singapore a decade ago for undergrad study and has been here since. Right, so I think somewhere around these 10 years, she realized the important role of mental wellness, which has been brought up by Gautam just now. All right, and she's very, very active in helping that area. And so she would like to share with you some of the overall well-being and how she managed to convince eventually the skeptics of the same and try to further enlighten herself. All right, so Tanvi.
Hey, thanks, Aizu. Hi,
Hello.
welcome everyone.
Yes, thank you so much for coming in and have a chat with us. So what's the biggest myth that NUS graduates have against mental wellness?
Oh my God. Okay, where do I begin? So I think mental wellness is considered quite a fringe topic, especially as postgrads. Like I think everyone's focus has been, you'd be talking about libraries and research projects and whatnot, and mental wellness tends to take a back seat until things go out of hand, and then everyone realizes, oh, I should have thought of that from the beginning. So I think first I'd like everyone to take a deep breath. That was a lot of information on libraries and resources from Jamila, and from the questions I can see everyone's already stressed about it. Where can I access this? Where can I access that? Just a friendly reminder that all the slides will be shared, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. So just take a deep breath, and I'd like to talk about mental wellness here. NUS actually is doing a fair amount of work in terms of mental wellness and mental well-being. And it's, I would say it's not specific to postgrads or undergrads the way rest of the societies are divided. This is NUS wide. So first thing is, postgrad life is hard. That's a given. Compared to undergrad life, there are, I would say, a lot more stressors. There's a lot of pressure, and if, like me, you were working before coming for a postgrad, then there's a whole adjustment period of, suddenly going from earning to not earning, being a full-time student. And since most of you, all of you in fact, are international students, coming away from home can be a bit of a challenge as well. I faced that 10 years ago. I moved here alone without my family. And yes, there was an adjustment period, but rest assured, all of us have the capability to manage that. All of us can conquer all the difficult situations. And I've done it, so can you. What Haizu is currently sharing on screen are 7 pit stop tips for mental well-being. It refers to COVID-19, but honestly, if you can read the tips, there's nothing new in there. You probably know about it. Okay, yeah, exercising is good, picking up a hobby is good, interacting with friends is good. A lot of this, we all know it, but it's just that we forget about it when we're busy researching, busy doing our projects. We just tend to, like, okay, sleep important, it's okay, I need to finish my assignments first, right? But, and I get it, like, yes, not everything can be applied immediately, but even if you take one step at a time, trust me, it'll help. And I honestly, I'm saying this from experience because I've been there, done that. So yes, I'll actually like to talk about pit stop as well. Pit stop is not just the acronym that you see here. Pit stop is actually a space in Yusuf Ishaq House. That's a place where people can relax, reconnect, recharge. And I mean, we have games, as I mentioned before, there are some massage chairs as well. And it's just a place for you. Actually, I think we have posters around where we mention no studying allowed. So it's literally where you don't think about studies as well, because a break is needed. And actually, a break is very essential in order to help us be productive as well. And apart from that, this is also a space where you can reach out in case you have any stresses you want to talk about, or you just want to chat about how life is going. So this is where you can do that. Like me, there are like a whole group of peer student supporters. We are actually trained. We went through quite an intensive training, and like we had a whole semester long module on this. So we are trained to do our best to help you where we can. But apart from us, because we are not professionals, right? So NUS does have resources there as well. I think by now you all must be knowing about the University Health Center. You might have had to go there for your medical examinations. And University Health Center also has university counseling services. So that's where you can reach out in case you need to talk to a professional counselor. I would highly recommend that. And I understand when someone uses the word counselor, people tend to think of it as, oh, something serious is up, right? Like, wow, you need counselor, something must be wrong. But that's not true. Honestly, as long as you just want to discuss something, you can reach out to people. I would like to mention though, because of COVID, of course, things are not yet open. We've heard about the libraries. It's the same for Pit Stop as well. But as Gautam mentioned, GSS has moved online, and so is Pit Stop Pit Stop is going to do the same as well. We will be having like online Zoom game rooms where you can just join whenever you want to, hang out, play some games, something like Scribble. I'm not sure if you guys have already tried that. So things of the sort. And we will also have online sessions where you can reach out to individual peer student supporters in case you just want to chat. What else? Sorry, I'm looking down because I do have some notes here so that I don't
No
skip
worries.
on things. Yeah. Another thing is, what I feel is important to remember is that you're not alone. I know none of us will have the same experience, exact same experience going through postgrad life, but we are a lot of us are together. We are a big NUS family, and so I would really encourage reaching out to people. It doesn't really have to be a counselor. It could really be your friends. And like Gautam has shared a lot of exciting events that are prepared for everyone, so I would highly recommend attending those. Some of those sound super fun. I wish I could attend those too, but I think as an MBA I am not included in that. So yeah,
Really?
but yeah, I'm not a part of any of this, guys. So you guys are
How? Why?
actually
How is that
luckier.
possible, right, Tanvi?
Yeah.
So
Oh
maybe
my
I'll
god.
send out a membership link to you first.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just really reach out. And I think Gautam has shared some wonderful advice in terms of his pearls of wisdom. But I would also say that you need to remember to take a breath and be kind to yourself. There will not going to lie, there will be times where you might doubt yourself. It's going to get very stressful, but just keep moving one step at a time, one day at a time, and you'll get it. And please don't compare yourself to your peers. Everyone has their own experience, their own struggles, and comparison is not going to get us anywhere. Yeah. So
Right.
that's all the stuff that I've learned now that I'm almost ending my postgrad journey.
Wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I'll be done by the end of this year, hopefully.
Is,
Yeah.
is it going to be a big celebration for yourself?
Yeah, of course. I mean, actually, it was a good experience. And yeah, this is something I forgot to mention. While I said that postgrad life is hard, one good thing about postgrad is that you're getting to do university all over again, which means that anything you felt you missed out during your undergrad, you can just focus on that right now. Like, that's something I really enjoyed. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Tanvi. All right. There's a really very good pearl of wisdom down there. But just checking with Gautam, Tanvi, and Jamila. Can I just check, NUS provide any plagiarism checking software for students?
Okay. The
Yes.
beautiful thing for grad students, you can use Authenticate. On the page, can I share a screen?
Yes, you can.
Okay, on the page that I have given you that QR code, right? The first QR code. The reason I want to share is because that page, because to go to CIT site, it's going to be quite overwhelming. So on that QR code I gave you, it will bring you to this new to NUS. On this information, on that left, you see Authenticate. It will bring you to the Center for Instructional Technology, what they have shared. It is important because this service is actually only open to grad students, for our graduate students. Undergrad, they can only do, how should I say, the other, turn it in only if the faculty member opens it for them.
I
Right?
see.
So thanks for raising that, Haizu, because I do believe it is important for our grad students to be aware of how my notes are coming out without me realizing that it actually maps similarity index of something else, right?
And all right, thank you so much. Talking about undergrad's limitation, right? So we have one. So Joey, well, Joey is not exactly a master or graduate student, but hopefully she will be in time to come. Why we are inviting her today is because she's one of the best spokesperson to be able to share with you the rich student life we have in NUS compound itself. Now, of course, I know it's a bit downer, right? This era we have this COVID, everything here cannot go, over there cannot do, no physical stuff and also stuff. But technically speaking, if we adopt, just like you adopt to try to go to other country to study, definitely you can find some joy via the student life fair that we're going to have that is done being online. All right, so Joey, so without further ado, I would like you to take it away. So here we are, Joey. You can see there, she's there. She's the public relation director, doing this project, very big major project. All right, and it's an annual event organized by the NUS Students Union. Now you might be familiar with them as NUSU. All right, they are usually the student body of the undergrad study side. You can consider GSS as the equivalent of NUSU. All right. So she is currently in the incoming year 2 undergraduate, double majoring in economics and management, who's also the main point of contact between the rest of the CCAs and SLF. So she's going to share with you some CCAs that is very, very welcoming to all graduate students. All right.
Yeah. So hi everyone, nice to meet you. My name is Joey. As Haizum introduced me, I'm actually an undergraduate. So nice to meet all of my seniors here in the future. Yeah, so without further ado, we have been talking a lot, presenting. So let me show you a short clip, a short 30 seconds about
30 minutes
NUSU's
is never
student
short.
life. Yeah, all right.
For postgrad life, 30 minutes is short, don't worry.
That's like mental stress another level. What, 30 minutes?
Yeah, so can you guys hear? Hope you guys can hear what I present just now. Okay, so back to the slides. Hang on, yeah. Okay, so let me give you an official introduction of what SLF is. SLF stands for Student Life Fair, which is basically an annual event organized by us to showcase the vibrancy of student life in NUS. So in short, it actually is a clubs and societies fair to allow students in NUS to join. So it's also the biggest platform for the clubs and societies to recruit new members. Yep, so this year, unfortunately, we have to take this into a virtual fair. So it will be held from 10th to 14th August, 5 days on week 1. Yep, so
everything online, right?
Yep. So just some pictures to show you how vibrant this community can be. We have it'll be a 2-day event in Utown where we'll be giving a lot of giveaways, a lot of goodie bags, a lot of free stuff to students. But this year we are not giving out any physical goodie bags or whatsoever. But what we have is that some giveaways with attractive prizes like Nintendo Switch or iPad or even Apple Watches that you can win from our daily giveaway challenges.
You just said Apple Watches?
Yep.
Wow.
Yes.
Let's
So I'll tell you more about the details later. So right now I'm just showing you a bit of how vibrant student life can be in NUS, even if you're a postgraduate student. Yep. So these are the arts group performing. So if you have interest in arts, in performing arts like dancing or even singing, please join all these groups. So as Tanvi mentioned, if you miss out all those things in your undergrad life, do it. You still have 1 more year to do it now. Yeah. So these are the sports group. Yep.
Yeah. So there's Dragon Boat, scuba diving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me walk you through some categories of CCA. So there's actually 5 main groups of clubs and societies in NUS. So NUSU and clubs, they are mainly for undergrads because NUSU, like NUS Student Union, are like equivalent to GSS, that they take care of undergrads. But the rest of the 4 categories, we have arts, sports, registered society, and interest groups. So arts, we have Center for the Arts and CAC, which is a cultural activities club that is mainly for performing arts. And for sports, right, we have competitive team and a recreational team for students to join, and registered societies and interest groups. Actually, I can't list out all of the clubs because we have more than 60 for each category. So what I can tell you is that do go to our OSA Student Organizational Directory. I've provided the link below, and you can actually go through what are the available societies that you're interested to join. So yeah, so to find out more about what we have for you, follow us on our Insta page, and you can actually join our daily activities and a lot of other activities going on. So let me go to here. Sorry, yeah. Okay, so regards of how you want to find which CCAs that you're interested to join, right? You can go to our OSA Student Organization Directory. So these are all the CCAs available here. So you can actually browse through, and if you find it interesting, just click on it, and there's all the contacts available. And I believe all of you have your own NUSing account, right? So when you log into NUSing, just go to this organizations tab. There's also all the CCAs available here. If let's say you're doing a master's in engineering or whatsoever, these might be something interesting for you. Yeah, so I think I will also share more about, what are the go-to CCAs for undergrads. So let me go back here. So I think based on my personal experience, so why I was chosen to speak in this is because during my semester, I actually took on 8 CCAs, and I overloaded in my semester. So throughout these 8 CCAs, right, I actually met quite a few of postgraduate students, and we are I think as an international undergraduate, I'm from Malaysia, I do long for the sense of community, the sense of belonging to a certain community. And therefore, I actively search out a lot of CCAs so that, I can actually mingle with different people and meet new friends. Yeah, so I think I've also, as the PR director, I've reached out to all the CCAs and asked them about how can postgraduates join the CCAs that they are interested. So most of them are open to postgraduate joining them as normal member or even participate in their events. So if you are interested, we are gonna compile an e-booklet. So with all the information, for example, we will show in the PDF booklet, we will show the name of the CCA and the contact numbers and even the sign-up form if you're interested. So I think I'll be passing these e-booklets to Haizu so that he can email it to you all, because this is like a centralized information for all the CCAs available. Yeah, so it's easy on your site to actually join these CCAs. But for my personal experience, there is five CCAs that are actively looking for postgraduates, which is Yale NUS Consulting Group. So basically we do consulting and I'm part of it. So this is where I actually met, I think 4 postgraduate seniors that are really nice. And then NUS Investment Society. So, things like fixed income. So these are more catered towards business students. And we have NUS Entrepreneurship Society. If you are interested in the startup scene, then I think this is a good place for you to go. We have Conjunct Consulting, also a consulting group. And then we have this new CCA called NUS Space Club. So most of the activities are based on STEM. So I think that would be something that postgraduate students are interested to join. Yeah, so that's all for me.
Thank you, Joey. So I hope that you are not having 8 CCAs still, right?
I cut down a bit already.
You cut down a bit. Okay, that's good to hear. All right. So I think we have about coming to the end. So what I'm going to just wrap up is that at the end of the day, we have all the helps that is available in NUS. You just really have to go and find out. All right. So we have the libraries today. So that's Jamila. We also have the student wellness, Tanvi. She's also looking for volunteers. If you want to continue to be an advocate for mental wellness, please locate her and look her up. There's also Gautam, who's doing a lot of things under the umbrella of the GSS, the Graduate Studies Society, right? The equivalent of a NUNSU on the graduate level. Now, of course, at the same time, Joey has kindly shared that while it is undergraduate CCA most of the time, but there are some who are open to welcome postgraduates, and she had mentioned a few just now. But all these things, well, in a normal day-to-day basis, this sounds very exciting and you really want to go all out and adopt it. But however, in the COVID situation, okay, slightly on the downer, all right? So I'm just going to share a little bit on the COVID situation that we have in Singapore. And I hope that you will make sure that these are the things that you will continue to protect and advocate and uphold, all right? So number 1, temperature taking twice a day. Now, if you are still overseas, I will urge you to go and pick up this habit to start taking temperature twice a day. But if you are in Singapore, especially in NUS, your temperature taking is a must. And there are cases where if the students do not record down their temperature taking, they can be held for discipline matters, all right? We have a very, very serious view on this. So please do your temperature taking twice a day. And if you are not well at all, please proceed to UHC, all right, the University Health Center. Now, of course, over the weekend, you have to go over to the nearest hospital, which is NUH, just beside the Kentridge MRT station there. But if you ever go to a private clinic or hospital, do be mindful that because you are an international student, you may be charged more, all right? So if you go through UHC, which is open from Monday to Friday, they will charge you based on student rate because you are protected under the student fee, all right? Secondly, you must never forget to wear a mask. Now, we all have different type of masks over here in Singapore. There are cloth masks, there are the surgical masks, there are also the other type of mask that has a different valve and all the stuff. As long as something that covers your nose and your mouth, you are allowed to wear it, all right? So do wear a mask as long as you go out from where you are staying, all right? Even if it's just like, for instance, your dorm. If you happen to have a dormitory or a place to stay and your toilets are shared toilet, right? And you have to walk a distance, please put on a mask, all right? It is still needs to be done, all right? If you look after ourselves, you look after yourself, I look after myself, we can put this virus at bay as much as possible. Now, if you are caught without wearing a mask, there is a heavy fine, and it's usually around $300 or more. Now, that's the first fine. If you are caught the second time, it will be exponentially double up, all right, to even 1,000. All right, please wear a mask. Second, please maintain your social distance. Social distance, well, in NUS, we have the Cisco, the equivalent of a social distancing ambassador who goes around, right, reminding you, please maintain your distance 1.5 meter. Now, even if you tell me I'm only with a group of 5, maximum 5. Now, in Singapore, currently right now, it's up to maximum 5. Even within the group of 5, please maintain a distance of 1.5, okay? Right, so then, of course, respect and stay within the designated zone. Do not cross zone. Even if you are allowed within the same zone, do not cross the group Do not cross interact with another group. Just maintain at 5 and stay throughout. All right. Last but not least, there are 3 things that you need to download. All right. One is the safe entry. All right. Safe entry isn't exactly a download thing. You just need to make sure that you have a QR code reader. Many of the offices in NUS started to use safe entry. So you will see this QR code in front of the door. You just need to use your handphone, scan the QR code and start typing in your details. Second, the next one NUS need you to download is the Trace Together app. Now, Trace Together app is based on Bluetooth, where the moment you go out from your staying place or accommodation, any person that you keep in contact with another Trace Together app, right? They will have a signal that they will ping the signal. Now, those are the things that help you, that help us and help yourself to be tracked faster once you are being so-called deemed as a person that needs to be going to the clinic to go for testing and so on and so forth. The other one is you download this software called Universe. All right, Universe as if in UNIVUS. Also has a NUS Safe app built in. Now, those are the things that I need you to log in using your NUS Net ID, which starts with E, and then all your password that come along with it. All right. So these 3 things, please take care. All right. And so what's going to happen at this point in time? So someone asked, as an international student taking classes in China, should I report my temperature to school? Well, just now I did mention, if you are in overseas, you don't have to, because you have not been able to get to Singapore yet, but start practicing twice a day. All right, because the moment you go to Singapore, if you don't have that practice, you forget, and then you forget to log in. That's usually that's what happens most of the time. All right. Then somebody asked, is it necessary to measure temperature if the student is off campus? Yes, as long as you are in Singapore, that's what we have been doing. In fact, for us as a staff, when we work from home, we still have to take temperature, right? So the recording of the webinar be made available to students. Yes, I've shared this quite a few times already. Contact email address to overseas declaration. It will be osaresponse@u.nus.edu. All right. So I've shared that and live. Okay, so what's the next thing that's going to happen at from this point onward is about accommodation. So before we go to the accommodation, of course, I would like to thank our valuable panelists here who have spent their time with us for the past 1 hour, looking pretty, looking good looking, and waiting for their time to talk because they are ready to have their piece. So Joey is a public relation from SLF. Thank you so much, Joey, for your time and sharing all the vibrant things that will still continue even with this COVID situation, right? Good job there. All right, Tanvi, of course, for sharing the tips on mental wellness. I know Pit Stop is probably going through some renovation, but the advocacy of mental wellness, looking after yourself, is never stopped. It's not just by the center, it's everybody's duty, right? And she's advocate the 7 Pit Stop tips. All right, keep looking out for those things, and please share your go and look out for her and be your peers together. All right, of course, Jem, the one with the rich resources, right? The one that forever will be opening her doors to everyone to just chit chat and use whatever facilities. Even up till now, we have Tanvi and Gautam who are like, huh? Do we even have that? All right, in NUS, the surprise, right? Jem will always have this kind of unique situations, right? And of course, Gautam, at the end of the day, the GSS is a society that speaks up for the graduate itself. Okay, so the last part I did mention in the email that if you have any issues on accommodation, all right, so accommodation is held somewhere on the another platform. So I'm going to type this in the chat. So I need you, once I review this in the chat, please log off from this webinar, click on that chat and go to the room that's allocated for you. All right, there will be 6 officers waiting to answer your queries on all sorts of accommodation. All right, just give me a while. Gautam, just now you mentioned someone was asking about this temperature taking. Do you have are you going to share something?
Yeah, so I've just shared the link in the chat box. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Somebody has asked, so I've just shared the link. Yeah.
Somebody asked that. Okay, so for those of you who has issues with accommodation, I have 6 colleagues who are waiting in the other room to answer all your queries. So I'm going to share in the chat. Please be sure before you leave, copy that first. All right, copy the link do not click on the link. Just copy the link, put it on your browser first. Then you exit from this meeting, and then you enter that browser and press enter. All right, clear? All right, for the rest of you, I will be connecting with you on the email again. I know some of you are asking about the recording as well as the information that is given by Jam, as well as Joey and Tanvi, as well as Gautam, especially the events that's upcoming. All right, they want to be made known in the space that's upcoming. All right, so the rest of you, please remember before you log out, if you have any issues on your accommodation, copy the Zoom link that I just gave it to you. All right, I will copy again. All right, so these are the Zoom link. And of course, my dear panelists, you are free to go. I can host them. Thank you so much. I mean, I can't belanja you something over here, but maybe Gautam, next time around, can we have an online pizza party?
Right now?
You can just we can just order through Grab, you know, just send the pizza to everyone's house and we can have that party together.
I can do that. I recently got some reward point in Grab. I can do that. Yeah.
Okay, so the accommodation room has already been opened. So click on the link again. All right, I will click on the link. Somebody asked which 3 apps do we need to download. So for Cheryl, the 3 apps that you need to download: Universe, Trace Together.
Next bus?
Yes, that's the only 2 apps that you need to download.
Next bus.
And the next bus. Of course, the next bus is for you not to get lost in NUS. All right, the room for the room is open, ready for the accommodation.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You guys
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks. I connect with you all again. All right. Thank you so much.
All righty. Tata.
Thank you.
All right. For the rest of you, before I end this chat, please key in. If you have any issue with accommodation, please copy the link first and close this meeting before you go over to the other meeting. All right. I'll be closing soon in about a few seconds. Okay, I repeat again for the rest. Please leave the space. All right. Start to log out, leave the room. Please remember to copy the link if you have accommodation issues. All right. Copy the link first, put it on the browser, log off this meeting before you go and click them back. All right. All right. Thank you so much to the rest of you. I'll be logging off this chat room. I see you on the other one.